New Orleans. The river is rising, the city is shrinking, and the pumps never stop. New Orleans doesn't sit beside the water, it sits inside it. This is 2,100. 80% of New Orleans sits below sea level. Mississippi to the south higher than the rooftops. Lake Pontchartrain to the north. The city trapped at the bottom. The city sinks 8 millimeters every year. Some blocks, nearly 2 inches. And the levees protecting it are sinking too. 24 pump stations. 120 pumps. Running every hour. Stop them for 72 hours. The city is underwater. The city drained the swamps, built neighborhoods on them. Now those neighborhoods sink. The pumps keeping them dry are the reason they're sinking. The city drained the swamps, built on them. Those neighborhoods now sink. The pumps keeping them dry are why. After Katrina, Congress approved $14.6 billion, 350 miles of levees, flood walls, and surge barriers. The most expensive urban flood protection system ever built. It was finished in 2011. Katrina killed 1,800 people and erased 100,000 more. Half of them never came back. 20 years later, entire neighborhoods are still empty lots. The population scar never healed. The levees built after Katrina are sinking up to 28 millimeters per year. The sea rises 6. Every year, the margin between the city and catastrophe gets smaller. The protection system is losing ground. By 2027, major insurers are leaving Louisiana entirely, not because of a flood, because of the math. The risk is too high. The premiums can't cover it. The market exits before the water does. The Mid-Barataria diversion, $3 billion to rebuild the wetlands, was canceled in 2025. $600 million already spent. The sediment that could have rebuilt the coast stays in the river. The buffer keeps disappearing. Every 2.7 square miles of wetland absorbs 1 foot of storm surge. Louisiana has lost 1,900 square miles since the 1930s. Every mile gone means the surge hits harder. The math is simple. FEMA's buyout program purchases flood-prone homes, demolishes them, returns the land to open space. Voluntary, permanent. By 2029, New Orleans East is targeted. 30,000 residents and a question. Who gets to leave? August 2017. No hurricane, just rain. 16 pumps offline. Streets flooded in hours. 1 pump station ran backwards, pulling water from the lake into the city. It already happened once. 2035, New Orleans East officially designated a managed retreat zone. 14 square miles, 30,000 residents. Not because it flooded, because the models say it will. 2037, Congress approves $8 billion. Every levee in the HSDRRS system raised 2 feet. Not because the current system failed, because subsidence is eating the margin 1 millimeter at a time. New Orleans stops trying to remove water and starts designing around it. Canals replace neutral grounds. Rain gardens replace parking lots. The city becomes its own sponge. The Mirabeau Water Garden, 25 acres, holds 10 million gallons of stormwater. 1 park, 1 storm. The streets around it stay dry. By 2042, New Orleans East is empty. 14 square miles cleared. The street grid still visible from above. But the land is returning to what it was before the city arrived. 55% of New Orleans is black. 100,000 fewer black residents than before Katrina. Those who stay often don't have the resources to leave. The city filters by wealth. 2045. Sea level 0.4 meters above the year 2000 baseline. The levees hold, but the margin between the crown and the water gets smaller every single year. By 2046, no private insurer remains in New Orleans. Louisiana citizens. The state-backed insurer of last resort is the only option. Backed entirely by taxpayers, those who leave have somewhere to go. Those who stay often don't. By 2047, the city filters itself not by flood, but by who can afford the exit. French Quarter, Garden District, Uptown, built on the natural levee, the original high ground, while outer neighborhoods empty these blocks hold. They always have. 2051, Category 4, direct hit. The HSDRRS holds for the first time against a storm of this magnitude. Inside the levee ring, the streets are wet, not flooded. 40,000 homes purchased by the federal government, demolished, never rebuilt, not lost to a flood, removed by decision. The city shrinking, one address at a time. 2055, 220,000 people inside the levee ring. Half the city is dark, not destroyed, intentionally emptied. The fortress is holding 2056, $22 billion. Every levee in the system raised again to Category 4 standard. Not the last time, but for this generation, it's enough. Tremé, Marigny, Bywater, French Quarter. 4 neighborhoods become the entire city. The rest is levee wall and restored marsh. The core holds everything. By 2060, smaller diversion projects deliver results. 200 square miles of restored wetland. The buffer between New Orleans and the Gulf is growing back. Slowly. Phoenix is too hot to live in. Miami is flooding. By 2061, people are moving to New Orleans inside the wall. The city that was losing people starts gaining them. Safe land inside the levees is scarce. By 2062, 40% of households spend more than half their income on rent. The city compresses. The cost rises with it. 2065, sea level 0.9 meters above the year 2000 baseline. Louisiana rises 1 inch every 2 years. The levee margin is now measured in feet, not stories. 2066. FEMA establishes a permanent New Orleans operations center, 24 hours, every day, because the city cannot manage its own survival without federal support. HSDRRS Phase 3, modular steel barriers, deployed in hours, not days. The system stops being a wall and becomes a response, ready before the storm arrives. By 2068, the drainage and pumping system consumes 15% of all city electricity every hour, rain or dry. The price of living below sea level measured in kilowatts. Hurricane season, 2069, 3 Category 4 storms track within 50 miles. 3 evacuations, 3 returns. The system held each time, but the near misses are getting closer. 2070. Engineers raise the French Quarter 2 feet. Every historic building lifted on hydraulic jacks, intact, undamaged. The oldest neighborhood in New Orleans raised to survive the next 100 years. By 2071, 500 square miles of restored wetland. The buffer between New Orleans and the Gulf is back. Not what it was in 1900, but enough to matter. 2072. Managed retreat officially complete. The city's footprint is fixed. No expansion, no new development outside the levees. New Orleans accepts its permanent size. 2075, 190,000 people, less than after Katrina, less than 1900. But every resident is here by decision. The city chose depth over size. 2076, the levees are at their engineering maximum. Subsidence takes 1 inch every 3 years. The system requires constant elevation. It never reaches a final height, always behind. August 2078, Category 5, direct hit. Wind at 165 miles per hour. Storm surge at 98% of levee capacity. The wall holds. 3 sections within centimeters. The HSDRRS holds. 3 sections within centimeters of overtopping. Inside the levee ring, the streets are wet from rain. Outside, flooded. The wall made the difference. 3 weeks without power. The grid is down across the region. The pump stations run on diesel. Fuel trucks arrive every 48 hours. The city stays dry on redundancy alone. 2082, Congress approves $50 billion. The New Orleans 2100 Protection Plan, described in the bill as the final generation of flood infrastructure this city will ever need. 2088, HSDRRS Phase 4, complete. Category 5, standard. The engineers call it the last levee system this city will ever need. They have said that before. 2092, 2 meters above the year 2000 baseline. The city now sits 4 meters below sea level. Not an abstraction, a measurement, taken every hour, every day. 170,000 people, not a remnant of a larger city. A decision. Every resident chose to be here. The culture survives not by preservation, but by people who stayed. Every system at maximum capacity. Every pump running. Every levee section under constant maintenance. The city at its engineered limit is not a crisis. It is Tuesday. 14 square miles of former neighborhood now serves as storm buffer. What was sacrificed protects what survived. The city lives on the footprint of everything it gave up. 2100, the Mississippi above the rooftops, the lake above the streets, the pumps running, the levees holding, the city 4 meters below the sea, still her, 4 meters below sea level. Every pump running, every levee holding, 170,000 people who chose to stay. Not survival, management.